Hi everyone, it's Jung here for Hip Kit Club, and today I'm going to be sharing a layout that I created with the July 2019 Hip Kits. I was also challenged to use a lot of stars on my layout and to be inspired by the mood board. I actually made the mood board this month, so I was excited to be using it. I'm going to use that banner as my inspiration, as well as the image with all the rainbow 3D stars. So my first idea was to go ahead and punch a whole bunch of stars from the different pattern paper in the kits. I was trying to go for areas that weren't so busy and more solid like that Pinkfresh Studio paper. I went ahead off camera and punched a whole bunch of stars like you see here, and I punched some from the cardstocks in the cardstock kit as well, and when I saw how they were punching, I thought it looked really cool and would make a great banner kind of. And so for the rest of the cardstocks, I measured it out and punched them every 1.5 inch or so, and I created these strips, and I really liked the way they looked, and so I decided to go with that instead of all the punch stars. I will use a couple, but I can always save them for a later project. I decided to add a little bit of color to my white cardstock background, and I wanted to do a tone on tone look. And so I'm going to kind of try and go in a rainbow order, and all the inks and powders that I'm using are from previous color kits for Hip Kit Club. And I'm going to start off with pink, and this is a Shimmers product. I'm a little bit lazier with my mixed media, so I like to get the sprays. I can stick my brush in and just splatter it. But these Lindy Stamp Gang Magical Powders are pretty cool. This is the one that we got from last month's color kit, I believe, and I'm going to use that one powder for 2 colors. I'm going to use it a little bit more concentrated to use it for my orange color, and then I'll water it down a little bit more to use my yellow color. Now I wanted it to match my cardstock a little bit more, and so I'm going to add a little bit of that pink shimmer spray that I used for the pink side, and that's what I'll use for my orange. I'll go ahead and add a little bit more water to the color that I've created already to use that as my yellow. I've also got a little DIY mixed media tip for you. That little paint palette to my right, I just made that by trimming a piece of white cardstock and running it through my laminating machine. I like using it as a palette because it has that slick surface that I'm easily able to wipe off. And I like that there's a white base so you can easily see the true color of the mixed media that you're using. Okay, now on to the blue color. I'm going to be using that magical powder. I believe that one was from last month's color kit as well. It's a little bit too turquoisey and bright for the cardstock, so I'm going to mix in a little bit of the shimmers, and we got this, I want to say, at least a year ago, but I'm going to use that for my blue. For the purple, I was going to mix in a little bit of that pink magical powder, but I decided just to use the Shimmers pink instead that I had used in the very beginning. And I'm just going to mix those two together to create a purple that somewhat matches the cardstock. I cannot recommend that you pick up the Hip Kit Club color kits enough. These products will last you for years. Those shimmer sprays were at least a year old, so yeah, definitely pick them up when you can. Okay, so I'm just going to take my project off camera and sew on the strips of stars, as you can see here. And I decided that the strips needed a little bit of ink splatter too, so I went ahead and splattered the other colors off camera, and I'm just going to show you how I'm adding more color to the pink one. Okay, so here's the photo that I'll be using. It's of my oldest daughter a couple of years ago. She won an award at school, and I'm just now getting around to scrapping it. It is a square photo that I printed on a piece of 4x6 photo paper, and I just trimmed it to look like a Polaroid photo because I really like that look. I'm just going to back it on this orange plaid pattern paper, and I'm doing my messy but not so messy ripping technique. So just a little bit more about my photo. Each quarter, the teachers get to choose one student from all their classes that exemplifies Wildcat Pride. And this is a photo of my daughter and the teacher who nominated her. It's her language arts teacher. And she gave my daughter the award for brilliant writing, avid reading, and natural leadership. We were so happy we got to see her receive her award before school one day, and we couldn't be more proud. Okay, so back to my layout. I was going to try and use some of the punch stars on my layout. And I'm also looking through the ephemera included in the different kits. There's a couple of items from Just a Little Lovely, the new Pink Fresh Studio collection, which I already love. And then there's this, I think it's the wood accent stickers from the new Pink Fresh Studio Office Hours collection. And it just kind of reminds me of wall art that you would have in your house, or like posters. And I really liked the one that said work, and it has an image of a pencil and a pen and a marker. And I thought that was very fitting for a school layout. And so then I decided that I would try and keep the tone-on-tone theme going, and so I was looking through the embellishments to try and look for tone-on-tone accents to match the star banners. I'm going to be using this 3D embellishment from One Canoe 2. It's the blue camera, and I'm going to stick it on the blue stars. I really like how the foam that they used is thin foam. Sometimes these embellishment comes with like really thick foam, and I end up changing it for my thin foam anyway, so I can appreciate that this doesn't stick up too high. And then I'm just going to add some of these Pink Fresh Studio flowers that I fussy cut from a piece of pattern paper. I like the black and white accents. And then these are Pink Fresh Studio puffy stickers from the Just a Little Lovely collection. I'm using that circle that says one awesome day, and then this rectangle says the future is waiting, I think it says. It says the future is exciting. I'm going to look through the Hip Kit Club exclusive die cuts, and these are some gorgeous tropical floral images, and I was trying to fit those in, but some of the colors were a little bit too bold, and again I wanted to keep it tone on tone with my star banners. But I do end up choosing a flower that I really liked that I placed between the orange and yellow star banners, and it's that one right there. Okay, so now that I liked where everything was placed, I went ahead and attached them off camera. I used a combination of liquid glue and foam adhesive for dimension. And now I was trying to think of a title, and sometimes titles are tricky. Sometimes when I have a hard time thinking of a title, I'll go to Pinterest and I'll look up, for example, in this case, I looked up scrapbooking titles for school, and I'll get some inspiration there. And I decided to go with Star Student, and I thought it was very fitting for my star-filled layout. And at first I was debating whether or not to use the gold or the white stickers that we got in the kits, but I like how the white stickers really go with the black and white flowers, and I like that it doesn't draw too much attention to itself. I always want my focus to be on the photo, so I went with the white stickers. So now that I have my title in place, I want to see where I want to add more embellishments. I am going to add some journaling strips later on, but I wanted to keep that a little bit private because it has the name of her school and her teacher's name and stuff. So I'm just going to keep in mind that I want to leave room for journaling strips. I'm going to be using some of the punch stars. And I'm just going to try and squeeze them in some of the spaces that I think need a little something extra. And again, I'm going to keep with the tone-on-tone color scheme. And yeah, I'm just going to be moving around stars, and eventually I will glue them with liquid glue. Some of them I'll pop up with foam squares. And I decided I needed another size of stars, so I pulled out this teeny tiny star punch, and I'm going to punch a couple of those. I knew I needed some more purple elements because I don't have very many lavender colored embellishments, which I know that purple is supposed to be a hard color to scrap. I don't know why that is. I love the color purple. So yeah, you don't find too many purple embellishments, although lately the Pink Fresh Studio Just a Little Lovely collection has some purples in it, and I know Paige Evans uses some purple in her collections as well, which is awesome. I'm also excited to see all the rainbow themes in the scrapbooking collections. Whether it be subtle or straight out rainbow. I'm loving it. What about you guys? What have you been loving in the new scrapbooking collections? All right, I think all I have left on this layout to do is to glue on the stars. I will say at the beginning, I was kind of overwhelmed because there were so many things on the mood board that I was inspired by and that I wanted to try. I wanted to make those banners. I wanted to do like a bright rainbow pattern of stars, and I was a bit overwhelmed, but you know, once I started punching out my stars and then I saw how they looked on the cardstock, things just started coming to me. So, you know, if you're struggling, just start and inspiration will come to you. So that is it for me. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to the Hip Kit Club channel, and don't forget to stop by the Hip Kit Club website to check out these kits. The August kit has already been revealed and I'm loving it already. So I will have all the links and information in the info bar below. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye.